apologies for that. At exactly 2:20 p.m., this meeting is hereby called to order. May we all rise to recite the JCI Creed, please. At the count of 3, we can proceed. 1, 2, 3. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of the nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that all penetration lies in human personality, and service to humanity is the best work of life. Thank you very much. We may all get seated. So moving on now, in our agenda, the next item is 1.3, which is recognitions. Then very specially, I want to recognize in this meeting this afternoon our immediate past president, in person of Cynthia Agbemisino. To my left hand side, I'd like to recognize very specially our Executive Vice President for 2025, Israeli Ambassador Ibukun Oteshile. To my right, over there, I'd like to recognize very specially our GLC for 2025, JCI Ambassador Taiwo Adeniyi Ayodele. Very specially, I want to recognize the Vice President Internal Affairs, JC Odunayo Akinpoli. Also, I'd like to recognize the Vice President for External Affairs, JCI Ambassador Glory Oyewumi. I'd like to recognize the Interim Secretary General, JC Ganiyat Oladiti. Beside her, I'd like to recognize very specially the Treasurer for 2025, JC Modupe Akomu. I'd like to recognize the Director of Business Opportunities, JC Adedare Ososoya. Also, I'd like to recognize the Director of Skills Development, JC Fumilola Adiago Olayowa. I'd like to recognize the Director of Awards and Documentation, JC Babatunde Oyedino. Seated beside him, I'd like to recognize the Editorial Board Chairman for 2025, JC Israel Alabi. Also, I'd like to recognize the Director of Local and International Affairs, JC Anoluwapo Oloride. I'd like to recognize the Director of Growth and Retention, JC Fumilayo Shojipo. Very specially, I want to recognize the Director of Projects, JC Michael Adebisi. And very specially, I want to recognize the presence of our President for 2019. That's the Lead Out Loud President, JCI Senator Sami Abiodun. Very specially, I want to recognize the President for the year 2022, JCI Ambassador Goodness Murakeyo. While we are doing that, please, can you please come forward to the front row? Please, let's welcome to this front seat with a round of JCI clap. I'd like to recognize some personalities here this afternoon. We have seated in this hall one of our family heads, JC Peace Adidogun. I'd like to recognize this afternoon our Director of Publicity, JC Michael Ashaolu. Before we move on, I'd like to recognize the Director of Projects and Programs for the Southwest, JCI Ambassador Odunaya Babatunde. All right, we shall continue recognitions as we proceed in this meeting. Moving on now to the next item in the agenda, and that is apologies. I'd like to call on the Interim Secretary General to please confirm if we have apologies sent in for this business meeting. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, immediate past President, executive board members of JCI Ibadan. Yes, Mr. President, we have apology of absence from JC Adekule Brown, JC Adebisi Okoyemi, JC Ojeumi Benga, JC Temitayo Adewole, and apology of lateness from JC Umosa Emmanuel, JC Victor Onuka, and JCI Ambassador Lara. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that. I'd like to call on the General Legal Counsel to please confirm that we have formed quorum for this meeting.
Mr. President, immediate past President, past President of JCI Ibadan Elite, fellow board members, distinguished personality of the month, fellow JCs and guests. According to Article 6-8 of our Constitution that states that a quorum of our General Assembly shall comprise of 1/3 of the total membership to the nearest whole number. Seeing the numbers that we have here this afternoon, I hereby confirm that quorum has been formed and our business meeting can commence. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, the General Legal Counsel. So we'll move on straight to the next item in our agenda, and that is the agenda itself. I'd like to yield the floor to the Interim Secretary General to please present this meeting's agenda and also move a motion for its adoption.
Mr. President, executive board members of JCI Ibadan Elite, I, Ola Tigania, hereby present the agenda for this business meeting and move for subsequent consideration and adoption of the agenda. Sorry.
All right, thank you very much for that. Is seconder to that motion, please? Seconded by JC Fumilayo Fujibo. Fellow JCs, please let's check the agenda. Let's share if we have any corrections that we have decided to be made, so you can attend to it before we adopt it. All right, seeing no hands up for corrections or additions to the presented agenda, it is therefore adopted as presented. Very especially, I want to recognize the presence of our personality of the month, that's Dr. Ore Ifadigun, the Director of Economics and Strategy for Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. Please, with a round of JCI clap, welcome to this side of the hall, the personality of the month, Dr. Ore. Please come forward to meeting manager is not around, please come to have a seat at this side of the hall, sir. Thank you very much. In the same vein, I'd like to recognize the presence of our trainer for today, a very distinguished woman, Dr. Olubukola Owóẹ̀yẹ. Please, with a round of JCI clap, let's welcome to this side of the hall the trainer for today, Dr. Olubukola Owóẹ̀yẹ. Thank you very much, ma'am. Moving on now is the item 3, which is minutes of the last business meeting. I'd like to call on the Interim Secretary General to please present the minutes of the last business meeting for possible correction or addition, and also move a motion for its adoption. Thank you.
Mr. President, board members of this ceremony, friends and guests, I, Oladiti Ganya, hereby present the minute of the last business meeting and move for the consideration and subsequent adoption of the minutes. Thank you very much.
All right, please, fellow GCs, let's check the minutes as been presented. If we spot anything that needs to be corrected, please you can signify by raising your hand so that the floor can be given to you to speak about it. Alright, since there is no comment on the last business minutes as has been presented. Alright, fellow JCs, guests and friends, the presented minutes of the last business meeting is hereby adopted as presented. The next item in our agenda is matters arising. Do we have any matter arising from the last business meeting? Do we have any matter arising, please? Alright, seeing no matter arising, we move on straight to the next item in our agenda, which is item 4, and it is business of the day. The first item under it, that's item 4.1, that is training. I'd like to call on Director Israel Alabi. Sorry, JC. Isaac Gbadebo, who will be taking the citation of the trainer for today. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Immediate pass.
Could you please stand by Palestine? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, immediate past presidents, Executive Vice President Southwest, our 2025 board members of JCI Ibadan Elite, our personality of the month, our distinguished trainer, GFS senators in our midst, fellow JCS senators. I'm here to read the citation of our distinguished trainer, Dr. Olupopola Owoeye is the current business development manager at Wema Bank PLC Kokomo branch, where she plays a key role in driving business growth and fostering client relationships. With an extensive career spanning 18 years in the banking industry, she has accumulated a wealth of experience and expertise. Our journey in the banking began in 2006 when she joined Oceanic Bank, where she honed her skills in financial services and strategic banking operations. Dr. Owoeye holds an impressive academic background. She earned a Bachelor of Arts BA honors degree in philosophy from the prestigious University of Ibadan. Her passion for ethical practice is professional led her to further her education at the same institution, where she obtained a master's degree in professional ethics. To deepen her expertise in business management and capital development, she pursued and successfully completed a Master Business Administration MBA with a specialization in her academic journey did not stop there. She went on to achieve a Master's of Philosophy in Human Resources, further solidifying her expertise in people management and development. Driven by a commitment to excellence, she ultimately earned a Doctor of Philosophy in Human Resources. In addition to her extensive academic credentials, Dr. Owoeye holds several professional certifications that enhance her qualifications in the banking and financial sector. She is a certified member of the Chartered Institute in Nigeria, an esteemed professional body that upholds the highest standards in banking. Furthermore, she has acquired the prestigious Certificate Financial Planner certification, demonstrating her proficiency in financial planning and wealth management. With her vast experience, academic excellence, and professional qualifications, Dr. Olupopola Owoeye continues to be a significant asset to Wema Bank PLC and the broader financial industry. Fellow JCs, with a JCI clap, let us make welcome our trainer for today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, it's a great honor and privilege to be with fellow business entrepreneurs here, and also want to congratulate the JCI Ibadan Elite for their March business meeting. And I can also see it here that you're celebrating your 7th anniversary celebration, so congratulations. And I remember when I think JCI Oteshile reached out to me, and well, I think this is about if I'm right, this is about my 2nd time that I'll be opportuned to join JCI, so I didn't even know what to expect. But when she actually reached out to me and she said I'll actually be discussing with people that they are doing businesses in the range of 10 digits, then I got a little bit shaken that 10 digits, I think that's the range of billions, if I'm right. So I'm like, if I'm coming to talk to people who are already doing businesses of billions, so what exactly do I want to train or talk about? But notwithstanding, I see that this is a forum for us to learn and unlearn, and also maybe I learn from people who are already doing the league of billions. So I also want to say congratulations to everybody. Then also, as I rightly said, you will see that my journey, if you look at it, has not really been more.
Please give us a moment.
Okay.
I'd like to announce the presence of the national president. Maybe all rise to welcome her into this hall with the round of JCI. Thank you very much. Sorry for the interruption. You can proceed.
Okay, you're welcome. Just as I was saying, for people that might really be interested, you see that from what has been read and from what I'm expected to come and discuss them, seems to be a little bit of a contradiction. I actually major more in human resources department of the bank, but with my years of experience, which has spanned over 18 years, I believe I'm qualified enough to come and discuss a little bit of business with people here. So, one of my perks that comes with the line of career is the wealth of experience you get from combined experiences of many people, some that have made immense financial success, and some that have had to bear the consequences of not so great financial studies. So like I said earlier, I'm not going to stand here to talk like I know it all. So it's just going to be like sharing principles that I've seen and work out in the real life of business sectors. So, like I said, I'm talking to people who are already in the range of 10 digits, I assume. So my 10 digits is on billions. And of course, I can testify to the fact that I want to believe it is true. And this is actually also a very great forum, which I'm going to digress a little bit and say, I don't know what are the criteria and what are the things, I don't know what JCI is doing. If you can do more of this extent to actually signing on a lot of young entrepreneurs, going out to incentivize people, because I realize the generation we have today are people that they are more concerned about looking successful, spending most of the time to look successful, actually being successful in the real end. So I think this is a great organization that should reach out so that we can have more of our generations and those coming behind to be in the line of business. So like I said, the theme of today's program is essential strategies for financial success. So if you say financial success, what does it mean in simple terms? It is that how you want to be successful in terms of your financial journey and everything. And this comes in terms of business. And at the end of the day, not just business, what the business, the success of the business. That is what we actually mean by when we say strategies for financial success, how you want to be successful in your financials. So I will start by saying the fourth thing that is required is that you define your financial goals. Defining financial goals. Defining financial goals is very important as it gives you a clear sense and picture of what you want to be, what you want to do, and with a clear goal, it's becoming easier to put recognition and enabling achieving as well as go against distractions. And when you say that defining your financial goals, I feel that another one of the problems that we realize in the financial industry is that people tend to want to do jack of all trades. They don't even know what they want. It could be that, oh, I can see that Mr. Sorry, I forgot his name, is into school. So maybe because the school is thriving, I must do school. Or you see that Mr. Lawal is as if he's into oil business and you don't even have that experience. But because you assume, you see that you just want to jump in. So you need to really have an idea, picture, and understanding of what you want to do, where you want to be. You define your financial goals. Then after doing that, another thing is how to invest wisely. As much as possible, it is advised that you put your funds to where your returns is actually guaranteed. Before you commit your funds, it's very important that you conduct your due diligence, check and assessing every risk with a view of minimizing, controlling, or at the best transferring the risk as much as possible. Avoid jumping on trends or get rich quick schemes. If it sounds so good to be true, check it out again. It's most likely to be true. Just like I said in the beginning, define your financial goals. And it's also very important that you invest wisely. Know what you are putting your money. Have a grasp and better understanding before you say even. It's not just about having the money, and that's why I said invest wisely. You might have the money, and I'll use in case of an experience. Realize that for most of us in the banking industry, let me just put it away. I'll use banking industry as an example, but we also have different organizations. You realize that most people that have worked maybe like 10, 15, 20 years, even up to the level of sometimes an executive director, they have that so much money that probably they've acquired or amassed during their journey. But because they believe they know it all, they see I can't see someone who has designed as a GM and as an ED invest in business, and you'll be surprised that within a space of 6 months or 1 month, the business is gone. In fact, you won't be able to point out to say this person even actually, and that is because they do have the money, but they do not invest wisely. So it's very important that, just like I said, you don't jump into trends. Like I know that some years back, it was the oil business. We have a lot of people jumped onto that trend, believing that all that data is as simple as it is, and a lot of people got through in that process. So it's very important that yes, you have the funds, but invest wisely. Check out again, do research. There's no point rushing into anything. And be very sure that you understand the business, and not just understanding the business. You should be able to know that what are the pros, what are the difficulties, that even in case I fall a victim, how am I going to? So those, because in business, there's no way you can say that there are risks that are associated. You are bound. It's not all rosy. You are bound to have issues, but by the time you know that you understand the business you're investing in and you invest wisely, it minimizes your risk. Then I also have here that importance of operational risk management. Business owners are have been advised to taking insurance covers as advised to please have a rating today. What do I mean by that? For every business, I know that every business has risk associated, and so it is very important that you consider where I have now importance of operational risk management. Please, is anybody that I hope I'm there? Yes. So don't just assume I need a guide. When you say that, is look at another risk and another business mistake that I realize that a lot of business owners, not even just business owners, even people that I'm trying to be very careful, I'm trying to choose my words rightly. When we talk about business risk, we are talking about insurances. We are talking about how can we minimize or mitigate risk that is actually associated with our business. There's this belief here in Nigeria that insurance companies, we believe that it's not as, how do I put it now? We tend to be, we don't have that so much trust. If I'm telling the truth, or I'm speaking the minds of insurance companies in Nigeria, the first thing that will come to mind is that insurance, they are just how to do, or they are just how to do. And that's another feature and why you need to understand in what you are investing your money in. If you understand the front and you understand the business well, even if in any insurance company, which I don't believe, apologies to maybe anybody in the insurance department, are trying to be funny. There's a way you understand, you know what you're doing, so you're able to point out and say, this and this needs to be included. One of the business risks that is associated, and I see where a lot of business owners are having issues, when these risks are not put into consideration, we believe that is not necessary. And for we Nigerians, we believe so much in God. I believe so much in God. But the next thing you say as a business owner is, oh no, checking or conscience, I cover it with the blood of Jesus. No. There's even the saying that faith without work is what? And if you look at it, I'll take for example, I've also been a victim, and I will share my experience. That was sometimes about 10, 12 years ago. Yes, if I'm very right. There was this, college business was actually an in thing there. Maybe I would say, yeah, it should be about 10 years back. I actually invested in this college business, and I got to trucks. It was a business that I really didn't understand. But I saw a customer who was banking with us, and I could see the millions rolling in. So I had loose funds then. And I'm like, what can I do? Let me invest in this knowledge business. Yes, I invested in it. I was just saying the figures. I didn't bother. And I also trusted the person so much. I invested in it. I bought through trucks. And all I was just concerned about the returns. Yes, it started. The first 3 months, 4 months, it was really juicy. I was already, this shoulder pads. I was already thinking of going to Barbados, spending in fact, at that time I was saying, to hell with this banking by the time I do it 1 year. But I remember then I was advised to do the insurance. The day I saw the charges for the insurance, I said, when did I start business that I'm going to invest so much? But that was because of my ignorance. That should have been the first thing I do. Whether it's true, whether it's not true, it was in the middle of the night, I got a call that the truck along Oyo, that they were coming from the north, that got burnt. And I was really scared of business in that time, so let's leave the story for another day. It was actually a huge loss, but if I had actually maybe the operational risk, and because I also didn't really understand the business, I probably must have minimized the loss. The loss might not be as huge as what it was then. Imagine if I wasn't still in the business or employment, probably I may not be able to bounce back. So that's actually also. Then explore additional income streams. This is where diversification becomes important. Keep reinvesting into business and diversify into other businesses, particularly when one has reached a maturity stage. This is to help you exploring your opportunities and spread risk as the world and technology revolves. When I say explore additional streams, as a financial expert, I will even say experts, businesses, the trends I've seen over time, when you say explore additional income, that means to say, as you're growing a business, you try as much as possible to extend have additional income. We pray that Nigeria is a country that it will get to where it is. But as it is, if you are looking at the present economic condition, you realize that even one business as it is, if you don't keep revolving, looking at other additional incomes, you might not be able to compete really well. When do I say that? When I say exploit additional income, remember we said it in the beginning that invest in business that you understand. But when you say additional streams of income and as it's revolving, I will take for example, I will use the case of photography. I remember when I was growing up, and I also use the case of telecommunication. I remember most of us, we are age groups now. If you want to take pictures, if they don't bring that, bring film that will just be bringing out flashes, it's not it. After that time, it went further to another, technology revolved, it went further to another stage. I think they now brought smaller cameras. After smaller cameras, who could have ever imagined that most of us can now take pictures in our homes? But you can imagine someone who is a little bit laid back in business and looks at it that this is what, as technology is revolving, they're not looking at it. But if you look at the photography session, I'm using the photography session because I feel it's about the easiest that I can pick. Apart from photography, you see that people are now going, a lot of people are coming with different innovations, because for someone like me, I don't know when I would actually look into that trend or maybe that bug. I find it very absurd for me, but I remember someone is telling me that very soon you will get to that level. Calling a photographer, apologies to photographers, to come and take pictures in the house, and I will spend, I can't pay 100,000. Not to talk about, but if you look at the likes of T.Y. Bello, that is charging millions. In my heart of heart, I will look at it that what is suitable. Is it not to just take picture, edit, and that's it? But that is for me. I feel that photography is extending, it has gone. These are one of the pros and things of, there are people who appreciate it and they understand. There are other things I'm sure that probably I have not seen, or maybe because I'm not that rich yet, that it is not, but you see that people. So definitely there are other things. And you even see that some of these photographers have included things like, I now hear that, that's I'm not bothered when I see celebrities and I see them where someone told me one day that if you want to have photography, they now do what's called, in the English, costumier. They supply the ribbon, the clothes, everything. All you just need to do is just give them the idea. So that is trying to revolve and revolve. And again, another example that I will use is, you are into a business of maybe food, you are just okay with the fact that I'm selling food, and what happens maybe in the nearest future, I as a person decide that I don't want to go to canteen. Have you thought about people who now do home delivery, people who now do stuff? So those are other ways that you look at your business. You should always be ahead and look at what is it that I can do that will make me have additional income and that will always put me ahead and edge over, because you know that, again, it's a competitive environment. What you are doing, 1,001 people who want to do it, especially if they feel that you are making it. Then I have it says that conduct a periodic check. Conduct a periodic check. When I say conduct a periodic check, it means that both on your books, off your books, which includes your staffs, which includes your business, this help you to detect leakages and fraud at any stage. Then again, as we Nigerians, I feel that we get carried away easily. By the time you start business, I want to believe that for people who are the league, it's not like that. we tend to mix both, and these are also one of the things that we detected in Britain, because when people, you see, at the end of the day, you see someone saying, I'm doing a turnover of this, I'm doing, look at my account statement, not knowing that both your profit, the money you borrowed, and everything is the figure you are seeing. And because they're just making it, if proceeds are coming in, they get carried away. You don't do what we call periodic check. Periodic check on your staffs, and also I will keep using Nigeria because this is where, and I don't think I'm outside Nigeria. We business entrepreneurs, we tend to become, by the time you start business, you're already seeing yourself as Bill Gates. You believe everything is going. But, and again, it is in Nigeria here that the staff we work with, they're the ones that want to eat more than you, that you invested. So it's very important that in your business, you do periodic checks, not even just on staff, to know if that business is actually generating that income. Sorry, I will need to. Check your books. Check if the business, check books, check if you have income leakages. Don't just assume everything is going well. With this one, you'll be able to quickly adjust or adapt. And also when you say periodic check, you also have to be vast with what is working, what is happening in the economic environment, things you need to do. So those are the one of the reasons. Sorry, I don't know if I'm making any sense or I'm adding value. Okay, thank you. And here also, I have the word which I use as discipline. Discipline, discipline. I emphasize that discipline 3 times. Discipline is the heart of, thank you, I'm sure I'll be done within that everything. Discipline is the art of everything. Where there's no discipline, it's for everything, not just in business, you have to have that discipline. Discipline is what will help you practice mindful spending. Discipline is what will help you understand. I keep saying it. I started with the generation we have now. They spend more time and energy on actually looking good when in reality they are supposed to be successful. They want to appear successful. I don't know who they are deceiving anyway. So the discipline will help you know that even if I start business, I keep saying it, in Nigeria, whatever business that you are doing, within a space of 1, 2, 3, even up to 5 years. I don't see someone who just started business. Yes, I know business do boom, the rebound. But imagine someone just started business, maybe 5 years or barely 10 years, and is already thinking of buying Range Rover, buying house in Banana Island, I don't know. By that time, both the money that is meant for investment, and that is when you see people who also start reckless spending. But if you are disciplined and you know that this money is for business, this is what I'm doing, it will make you that you won't get carried away. It's very easy to get carried away with whatever is going on. But by the time you know that discipline is the answer to everything, then on everything, plan for your retirement. It's not only employees that should plan for retirement. Plan for retirement in the sense that have a goal. If you are saying that by the time I'm age 60, by the time I'm age 50, by the time I'm age 65, which is very achievable, I am going to retire. My retirement means that my business and what I've invested, or whatever I have in, is enough to sustain me over maybe the rest of my life. Then that I have it here, which might actually likely be the last straw. Yes, we all need money. There's a difference when you say you are taking money to increase your business, to expand your business, and there's a major difference when you say debt. As much as possible, minimize incurring debt, particularly on things that do not in any way give returns or impair your profit. Where it becomes very necessary, calculate what is called the cost of fund to your business. A lot of people believe that I want to start business. And the next thing, I want to take loan. Because you wonder when people come to the bank to take loans, why do they go back? Because you realize that the debt, because when it comes to taking funds, you have to put a lot of things into consideration, charges, everything. But some people, they just don't want to hit. They believe that probably this business, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'll say that this business, I just need this amount of money, and when you take that amount of money, you do not. So try as much as possible. For beginners, yes, you can still start, but try as much as possible to minimize incurring debt on your business or taking loans and everything. With that, I believe that businesses would thrive and people are good to go. So thank you. I don't know if I'm able. And just like I said, I have my Oga, the people that the ones that introduced. I don't know if with all I've said is still within the of. So thank you everybody and thank you.
Fellow JCs, guests and friends, if you consider very insightful the truth that has not been held now, please, once again, with a round of JCI clap, let's appreciate our trainers. The floor is open now for questions and answers. We have, okay. I think we should count hands so that we can give everyone an opportunity. We will give it just 2 persons. Okay, Director Darren Masoya, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, immediate past presidents, national presidents, executive vice presidents, actuaries, and other national officers, board members, personal trainers, fellow Jesus friends and guests. Thank you very much for the training. One thing that, as a business owner, one thing caught my attention, and that was the part of the said we should minimize loan, taking loan. However, there are some instances where you don't have any other option than to take a loan. So I would like to ask if your bank, what are the processes involved to take loan, what that means where one can get support from your bank. Because I've opened several accounts with several banks, and you come and she talk you and say that okay, you open with us, bank with us for 6 months, 3 months. They will help you out. But after you do that, you start hearing stories from them. So what are the processes involved to bank with you and get such facilities? Thank you very much.
All right. Mr. President, immediate past president, national president, and other national officers, 2025 JCI Ibadan elite board members, fellow JCs, guests and friends. My question is regarding your role as business development manager. But firstly, I want to appreciate you for that wonderful training. My question is, how do you define that a business is developed? You mentioned now that the fact that you are getting money does not mean you have to get material things. So how do I know that my business is really developed?
Thank you. Let me state this first. Don't sack me. 2 things. I'm representing 2 roles here. Remember, I was invited to come and talk, to come and train on essential strategies for financial business. My role as a business development manager in a financial institution is different. Me coming here today, I came to talk like a financial advisor. But straight to the question you asked, don't get it mixed up. I said that every business needs support, especially when you need to go. I don't think there's any business person here that has not taken loan. Even the richest man, assumed richest man, also is indebted. But I said minimize. Minimize in the sense that take only when necessary. If you understand your business very well, let me shock you. We have some business people, and I'm not just making it up. People will actually come and say they need money for business. And one of the criteria, one of the major C's of credit, before you give out credit, is that you look at the lifestyle of that person, which I don't think a lot of people are also doing. You see a businessman, I'm not saying there's no time for enjoyment or anything, but you see a businessman that is still trying to grow, and you now see that person at a party, it will be the person spending the highest denomination. So when I say minimize risk, some people do actually come to take loan, but to take money, but the money they come to collect, they don't actually use it for the business they are doing. Some will now take the money to project a fake lifestyle. So if you look at it that your business, it is not every time a business actually needs loan. You might even need to start with maybe what you want, with what you have, and in the process, the interest or profit that you make on that business, you ploy it back into that business. It's not the time for you to now say that interest. Don't forget, I use myself as an example. The little interest I was already making, the first thing that was coming to my mind is how I was going to go on the island, not looking at how am I going to ploy it in that business. So that is what answers your questions. But if your business actually needs loan, the bank I work with, I don't think there's anybody. Let me even shock you. I have a target for loan. So please, this is also a forum. If you need loan, please, we are available to give you loan. Come and take. Now, I want to market myself as the business development manager of Wema Bank. One of the goals of the bank now is, and I don't know if everybody is very familiar with Wema Bank and what has actually been going on. We are trying to, we have diverse schemes where we are even grooming entrepreneurs, where we are supporting their business. The bank is giving out loans. Loans in multiple, we have different loans, business. So there's no time you come, please. Our office, my doors are available. I'll give you my contacts. We are available to support your business, provided it is for business. I don't know if that answers your question. Thank you. And for my sister who asked what was the question, she said, how do you know when business is developed? You will know. The moment, let me see how to put it. You know your business is developed the moment you know that, okay, I will use this as an example. I don't know if that actually explains, but this is where I will need doctors to actually bill me out. I remember sometimes back, about 5 years ago or something, when I said I was tired of banking. Because as we speak, I'm looking at other streams of income. I said, I want to quit. I'm tired. My husband said, no, you are not tired. I cannot carry your load. The moment that you know that your business can withstand even if a year or two, there are business downtime. And whatever you have can sustain you during that period. Then you can voluntarily say, I want to retire. even when he got to that level, he said no, 5 years. That means even if there are business issues or anything, conveniently you can say you can sustain. The business can also sustain. And when you say develop, it also depends on your goal, what you are looking at, what's your set goal for that business. You might have like a set goal of, okay, once my business gets to this level, I feel I'm okay. By the time you get to that level, to you it is developed. And again, I would say a business, you can say a business is developed when successfully there's some, how do I put it to? There are many ways to give your own form of development that it can on its own sustain itself. You are meeting demands of whatever business that you are, is meeting the demands, is meeting, it's paying its bills. I mean, you can't on your own, maybe there are some things that on its own it can pay itself. So I believe that it's when you can say a business is developed. I don't know if that anybody wants to, that's my own, that's how I can explain that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those responses I've given to the questions asked by our members. They are very, very insightful. Thank you very much once again. Before we move on to the next item in the agenda, we are graced and privileged this afternoon to have in our midst the #1 member of JCI in Nigeria, very specially fellow JC's guests and friends. Please, with the round of JCI Club, welcome to this hall, National President of JCI Nigeria, JCI Ambassador, Oluwatoyin Asamoah. I will also continue to recognize some personalities here this afternoon before we take on the next item in the agenda. Fellow JCS and friends, this afternoon we have in our midst our President for 2020, the President who led the Special Merit Service, JCI Senator Oluwakemi. Earlier on, we recognized the president that led the Lead Out Loud team. The president for 2019, he was not in that time, now he's in. Fellow JCS and friends, once again, please, with the round of JCI Club, welcome to this hall, JCI Senator Somi Abiodun. Representing JCI Oluyole in our midst this afternoon, please, I recognize JC Miriam Bakare, the treasurer for the local organization. All right. Before we continue with recognitions, I'd like to call on the GLC to please make available our item to appreciate the trainer. As I call in to this side of the hall, our president for 2022, JCI Ambassador Bunes Murakio, to please appreciate the trainer on behalf of the organization. Please, with the round of JCI Club, let's welcome to the side of the hall our president.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President, board members of JCI Ibadan Elite, League of Past President and his fellow JC's guests and friends. Look, if there's something I've learned from our trainer today, because I was initially thinking of approaching her to get a loan. I want to buy a private. So, Ms. Blessing, she has said it loud and clear that I should not buy, that I should not come and borrow money to buy Range Rover. So when I saw, well, you said it now. So when I saw, I want to buy Prado and I want to borrow money. I was surprised when I saw the flyer and I saw her name there. I've known her for quite some time. She has been the one behind success at Valencia School. Anytime we need to get loan, He's the one that I normally run to borrow money. So come and join us. Alright, thank you very much, Dr. Bukola Oweye Adebukola. Thank you very much for training for today. We want to let you know that members of the organization say a big thank you to you, and you must have been able to get one or two things from your training for today. Thank you for taking out your time on a Sunday like this when you should be sleeping or resting to be a part of today's conversation. On behalf of JCI Ibadan Elite, I would like to say a big thank you. I'd like to call on past president to please join us to take pictures so that the picture will be beautiful. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for that beautiful presentation, sir. While the session for questions and answers was ongoing, a very special personality walked into the hall. I'm talking about our president for 2023, who is also a national vice president of JCI Nigeria, JCI Ambassador Olanrewaju Alawode. Please come forward to have your seat at the president's seat. Thank you very much for being here, sir. You are well appreciated. Before we move on, I'd like to recognize some very special persons who joined us this afternoon, particularly those who accompanied the national president into this hall this afternoon. Very especially, I want to recognize the special assistant to the national president, JCI Ambassador Abimbola Olajuwon. Also, I'd like to recognize the executive assistant to the national president, JCI Ambassador Adiola Alfred. Also, we have presidents of local government this afternoon. Very especially, let me welcome to this call this afternoon the president for JCI Ibadan for 2025, JCI Ambassador Jumoke Adelabo. Also, we have in our midst the president for JCI University of Ibadan, JC Taiwo Olanlisi Odusoto. Alright, we will continue recognizing everyone that is recognized this afternoon, but be assured that as you are seated here this afternoon, we really appreciate your presence. We move on next to item 4.2. As is in our agenda, and that is about the personality of the month. This is time for the personality of the month to give his address. I'd like to call on JC Alawode to please come forward to take the personality of the month citation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, National President, immediate past President, National Officers President, Board members of JCI Ibadan, JCI Senators President, our personality of the month, our distinguished speaker, fellow JC's guests. My name is Tolulope Alawode, and I'm here to read the profile of the personality of the month. Dr. Oreiton Adigun was born in Ibadan into the family of Ayọ̀adé Adigunfadele. He attended St. Paul's Primary School in Ibadan, excelling as the best pupil throughout his school. At Ibadan Grammar School, he earned the nickname Omowe, due to his outstanding academic performance and served as library prefect. He achieved 9 credits in SGGC at the citizen and excelled in his GCE advanced level exam. Oraitan studied agricultural economics and farm management at the University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. There he won multiple awards, including Best Overall Student in Department, Departmental Proficiency Award for 3 consecutive years, and Dean's Honor Roll for 2 academic sessions. He graduated as the first student with a first-class division in his department and was the best graduating student in his sector. He was actively involved in leadership roles, serving as chairman of multiple committees and a member of the Students' Union jury. He holds a Bachelor of Agricultural Economics with a first-class division, a Master of Science in Economics with a PhD grade, and a PhD in Financial Economics. He is also an alumnus of the London School of Economics and the Lagos Business School, and has attended various local and international trainings and conferences. Dr. Adigun has worked as a civil servant, academic, banker, and consultant. He started his career at the Federal Inland Revenue Service and worked briefly at the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. He then became an assistant lecturer at Lautech before transitioning into banking. He worked at NAL Merchant Bank PLC from 2000 to 2002, then joined First Bank from 2002 to 2004, where he was recognized as the best regional manager in 2003. He later worked with Access Bank PLC from 2004 to 2005 and Zenith Bank PLC from 2006 to 2013, where he was honored as the best marketing staff in 2008 and 2009. In 2013, he was recruited by PricewaterhouseCoopers to join Union Bank, where he played a key role in the rebranding team until 2019, serving as Group Head, Commercial Banking. He later joined the economic team of President Muhammadu Buhari and is currently the Director of Economics and Strategy of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Dr. Adigun serves on several boards and councils, including the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Economics and Statistics at the Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and Value-Adding Initiative for Financial Literacy. He is also associated with VAM Concept Limited, VAM Consulting Limited, Laura Consulting Limited, and Abiono Aroye and Co. He holds membership in several professional organizations, including honorary senior membership at CIBN, Fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Administration, Fellowship of Institute of Management Consultants, Associate membership of the Risk Management Association of Nigeria, and membership in the Nigeria Economic Society. His social affiliations include the Alumni Association of the Federal University of Agriculture, Ibadan, Recreational Club, Jericho Businessmen Club, and he serves as treasurer of the Golden Friends Club in Ibadan. His hobbies include reading, traveling, table tennis, listening to music, and meeting new people. He's married to Mrs. Onyola Comfort Adigun, and they are blessed with 3 children. Mr. JCI Ibadan, please welcome our celebration.
So members of the I table, I don't know in which particular order I should include my protocol, but I want to take a cue from my friend, my colleague, who attended the same university, although I graduated not with EKU. So I observe all the protocols, starting with number 1, JCI Nigeria, my friend Johnson, and every other person that is there. So indeed, it's an honor to be in your midst. I've known your family President Johnson, I've known him for over 10 years and we kept in touch. We've been keeping in touch. You know, it's very hard for you to meet people like 15 years ago and still you keep in touch. It's not every relationship that you keep. That is by design. Madam, you have done a very wonderful job today. When they told me the theme for today's meeting, I said, okay, they have invited a banker of repute. Not just a banker of repute, also a PhD holder. So what do I want to say? Okay, I said I will come and listen to what she's going to say. All the points she listed, they are things that I have in mind to say. But I said, okay, I'll pick one of them and talk briefly about it. And it's just going to be 3 or 4 life experiences, then I will give my recommendation and sit down. In 2016, dollar and naira. Naira was about 150 naira to a dollar. January 2016 in particular. Please, I said I'm going to have on one of the points that she talked about, and that is on financial education and adaptability. It is very important for us to know that for you to be financially successful, your level of financial education is very important. You don't have to be a chartered accountant. You don't have to be an economist. You don't have to be a banker. But as businessmen, as a career person, as somebody that has a little change, you need to get to know a little bit about financial education. Coming back to 2016 that I was talking about, we were managing some set of customers there. And one of them wanted, there was a lot of dollars in there in Union Bank, and we are looking for customers to give dollar loan. So one customer said he was going to get it. The other two also wanted to get it. But separately, we advised them. If you take $1 million today, in January, I'm talking about 2016. If you take $1 million today, that is 150 million naira, because you sell your goods in naira. Okay? Don't take it. One said he was going to take it. And I said, okay, I will give you my reasons. If you take the loan, it's a plus for us. As business development managers that we are supposed to develop your business. We are not here to kill your business. And that was why I like what Madam said about taking loans. And I also like what my brother said, that he's not going to take loan to buy a Prado. So, going back to that 2016, the first customer took the $1 million in January 2016. The other person did not take it. By December 2016, dollar had moved from 150 naira to about 368 naira. Do you know how much in naira term the facility that was taken in January had become? You know, but know that it is still $1 million. 150 million naira in January had become 368 million in December. Customers are buying in naira. You buy in naira and you pay your loan in dollars. So eventually the loan became an issue. But the man has to pay because there were many things that had been signed off and he didn't want to use it. Financial education. In 2023, I was no longer, okay, I'm still in banking anyway, but not the other way. In 2023, we were in the office of the Vice President, and some set of people came. Institute of Agribusiness Managers. They wanted somebody to speak on their economic outlook that will be coming up in January 2024. And they asked that I talked about what was going to happen in 2024. So we were in a room like this, and when it was time to give advice, we said from data, 2024 was going to be a tough year. If you leave data aside, in our church, in your church, in the mosque, no pastor, no imam said 2024 was going to be an easy year. So you guys, this is not the year to borrow. Because the central bank governor said in November 2023 that he's going to be very serious with monetary policy issues. For those who want to borrow, 2024 is not your year. Because as of January 2024, the base interest rate was 18.75. People that were borrowing as of January, their interest rate was in the range of 20-something%. If you borrow this January, by the time you'll be paying back in December, you'll be paying back at very close to 40%. Financial education. So whether you are in business, whether you are liquid, because for those people who have money to invest in fixed deposit, it was a good year for them. Your interest rate on 10 million naira in January 2024 was probably around 10%, or maybe less than that. And by the end of the year, the interest had gone up. Financial education. So what is the summary of what I'm saying? Whether you are into business, whether you are a career person, whether you are a salary earner that needs to invest your money, you need to improve on your financial education. And what do I mean by that? A businessman, ask, what is government saying? What is the direction of government in the year that we want to enter? Is it going to be a year that is going to be favorable for business people? If it is not going to be a year that is going to be favorable, you know how to manage your finances. And I also want to say, in conclusion, I've also heard that your meeting is on a monthly basis. Can you please, sir, every January, organize economic outlook, so that people will know the direction that the year is going to take to enhance people's financial education. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for that beautiful thoughts shared with us and experiences shared. I really appreciate it. Before we move on to other items in the agenda, I would like to call on our president for the year 2019 to please assist the local leader to please appreciate the personality of the month. Please, can you please look at the item? Senators, please, I'd like you to assist us to appreciate our dear personality of the month. It's very rich.
Mr. President, the National President, Board of JCI Ibadan Elites, a distinguished personality of the month, a distinguished trainer. It's such a pleasure to be saddled with this responsibility today. Thank you so much for taking our time to share with us from a wealth of knowledge. You have given us tips that we hadn't seen coming. These are things that are typically blind spots for us as entrepreneurs. And thank you for also espousing on the topic that our distinguished trainer has shared with us today. This is a token of our appreciation. This is saying thank you, dear Dr. Oreto Adigun, in recognition of your support and commitment, we extend our sincere gratitude for your invaluable presence during our March business meeting and 7th anniversary celebration. Your contributions continue to inspire and strengthen our mission, and we truly appreciate your time and dedication. On behalf of the President of JCI Ibadan Elite for 2025, President Ilerioluwa Johnson Babatunde, and the members of JCI Ibadan Elite, we say thank you for this time and for the wisdom you have shared with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator, for helping us out to present our token to our distinguished personality of the moment. And now we have at item 4.3, which is anniversary celebration. JCI Ibadan Elite is 7. I am very privileged this afternoon, this year, to be the president who is seated before you to celebrate JCI Ibadan Elite at 7. We all know what figure 7 means. And it's one that is very, very significant and symbolic. As we do this, let me quickly call on our president, particularly the president for the year 2019, to take us through the milestones and memories of JCI Ibadan Elite. JCI Ibadan Elite was established in the year 2018, and myself, I was lucky to be inducted that year. So I'm sure that one of the things that our senator will be saying this afternoon is that in 2018, the president was please, very specially, fellow JCS and friends, please welcome to this side of the hall, president for the year 2019. The president led the team lead out loud, JCI Senator Somi Emmanuel Abiodun.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, National President, National Officers, board members for JCI Ibadan Elite, our distinguished guests, fellow JCs, our friends from different other local organizations. It's such a pleasure today to stand to talk about JCI Ibadan Elite at 7. It's been an interesting journey, a journey of travails and a lot of successes at the same time, and we are excited to have been part of the story for this local organization. To provide a bit of context, let me say that the reason I'm called to talk about this at this time in this meeting is because at the moment I'm the oldest president in the room. Thank you. And since I've been reminded that I must say it, one of the most important things to mention today is that our 2025 president was inducted in the year 2018. So please celebrate him. Yes, now that I've taken that off the table. JCI Ibadan Elite was born as a project from another local organization, JCI Ibadan. And JCI Ibadan at the time was about 53 years old, and it had been operating from Premier Hotel for several years. At some point in the course of JCI Ibadan's history, it became necessary for there to be a sort of extension for JCI Ibadan to give birth to another local organization which could carry on the values of JCI generally, but in a different location. And this is one of the visions of the founding fathers for JCI in Nigeria. For those of us that have been in JCI for a while, particularly in JCI Ibadan Elite, you will know that we used to have an annual meeting with one of the founding fathers of JCI in Nigeria, JCI Senator Tunde Oshobi. And one of the major things that he was particular about was the need for JCI Ibadan to continue to extend and give birth to other local organizations, which we have JCI Ibadan Elite as an example today. For those of us that are fixated on the screen, thank you for enjoying the view. Perhaps I'm going to punctuate my speech once in a while to say a few things concerning what you can see on the screen so that we can also flow with the conversation. I can tell that many of us are distracted by what we are saying and not necessarily listening to what I am saying. So I want us to quickly take a vote. Should we keep talking or should we look at the screen for a few minutes and then come back to continue? Which one should we do? We should pause it. Thank you. So can we please pause the slideshow and then we can just listen for a few minutes. In 2017, the vision became burning in JCI Ibadan, and then a committee was set up called a creation committee to look into the idea of giving birth to another local organization. I remember I was privileged to be part of that committee because I was a member of JCI Ibadan at that time, and in 2017, I was Director of International Opportunities in JCI Ibadan when the idea was birthed. And in 2018, I was Secretary General to JCI Ibadan at that time when another committee was put in place, an implementation committee. So the first one was an extension committee, the second one was an implementation committee. And I was Secretary of that committee as well. And the committee was led by JCI Senator Iola Folaino. And eventually we decided to give birth to this local organization. I remember a chit chat on the committee group one day when we were trying to think about what should be the name of the local organization. And we had different ideas. Should it be JCI Ibadan something? Should it be JCI this? What should it be? And I recall that the name that we have today, JCI Ibadan Elite, was a recommendation made by someone called JCI Senator George Beckhout, who at the time who till now was past president of JCI Ibadan for 2014. Yes, past president JCI Ibadan 2014. Please at this point allow me to punctuate this presentation to recognize the president for JCI Ibadan seated in this room, our mother organization, JCI Nigeria Ambassador Olajimoke. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you here. So yes, please feel free to keep using your eye to guide me saying things. Thank you. All right, is there another representative from JCI Ibadan here so we can honor you appropriately? Thank you, please celebrate him as well. JCI financially. Thank you. Yes, and JC Noah as well. Noah Greya, thank you very much for being here. Representatives of our mother organization. All right, so in March 2018, eventually JCI Ibadan Elite was born. We had our inaugural meeting at Carlton Gate Hotel Idiabe here, and it was a fantastic experience for many of us. I recall that by the time we were giving birth to JCI Ibadan Elite, it was because different people had come together to indicate that they were going to be committed to this new vision and were going to leave JCI Ibadan to form the composition, the first set of members for JCI Ibadan Elite. And I'm very happy to recognize one of the people that was part of that inaugural membership for JCI Ibadan Elite seated here in this room. I believe we are the only two people that are in this room from that inaugural committee. Please recognize with me the distinguished JCI Senator Kemi Iroye. Thank you. The third person, or the other person who left JCI Ibadan, well, not really leave, but joined us as the inaugural membership for JCI Ibadan Elite, was someone who at the time had had the idea of JCI sold to him from JCI Ibadan. I recall that I was one of the first people that had a conversation with him as well about joining JCI. And eventually, when we set up JCI Ibadan Elite, he also joined as one of the founding members. Please recognize our past president and national vice president, currently sitting, JCI Nigeria Ambassador Larry Olawode. Thank you. JCI Ibadan Elite was born in 2018, and towards the end of 2018, we obtained our provisional affiliation from JCI Nigeria at the National Convention in 2018. Subsequently, in 2019, at the National Convention, while I was presiding as president, we were privileged to obtain full affiliation with JCI Nigeria as well. That was 2019. Now, since then, it's been a very interesting journey. Most of the values and virtues of JCI Ibadan Elite that we extol today and we are so proud of cannot be discussed without recognizing the contributions of one person who stood, who fought, who added color, intelligence, and a lot of integrity and dignity to the beauty that we now see today and call JCI Ibadan Elite. I'd like us to please, those of us on this side of the hall, to rise to give a rousing applause to the Charter President for JCI Ibadan Elite, JCI Senator Tolulope Yewande Adeniyi. Thank you very much. You may please be seated. She's not seated in this room. She's currently in diaspora. But she was the one who formed the values, the virtues, aligning the local organization perfectly with the vision of JCI Nigeria, and most importantly with the vision of JCI. She led us in 2018, bringing a lot of excellence to who we are and to how we do the things that we do. Subsequently, in 2019, I was privileged to lead the organization, and our theme, like the president rightly recognized, was Lead Out Loud. What we took as our mandate was to ensure that the integrity and the values of the local organization became noticeable to people across the city, and we were proud to have done some of those things together, of course with the help of people like the distinguished JCI Senator Kemi Irioye, the JCI Nigeria Ambassador Larry Alawade, and our local organization president for 2025, who was also actively involved in the local organization's activities at the time. In 2019 as well, we were privileged at a meeting like this, where we had the national president sitting. We were privileged to have the presence of one person who today is one of the foundational members for this local organization, who attended a meeting like this, became sold out to the vision of the local organization, liked what he saw, enjoyed it, and decided this is a place to stay and never to leave again. Please recognize with me our President 2022, JCI Nigeria Ambassador, Goodness Morakio. He sounds surprised to have been recognized as a foundational member for the local organization. Thank you. When you preside over an organization in its first 5 years, you are sure that you are a foundational member. The local organization is still going 50, 100 years. So the first 5 years are indeed foundations for the organization. After my year in 2019, we have the President 2020, JCI Senator Kemi Irioye, lead us in what she called extraordinary service. And it was a year that established many of the things that we do today as signature activities of the local organization. That was the year where we gave birth to the EBMC, the Elite Business Masterclass. Thank you, please celebrate that, yes. Incidentally, that was the year where we had COVID. So it was a very challenging year. But one of the things that stood out for us and established our success as a local organization that year was that she taught us to start early and run fast. So by the time she was resuming office officially on the 1st of January 2020, a lot of things had already been done. She had put machinery in place so that by February, March, where COVID was hitting the nation and we were contemplating a lockdown, we already had a lot of things in place that were going to sustain us for the rest of the year. That year, we pioneered a lot of virtual meetings. That year, we pioneered a lot of relationships with government. I recall that in 2020, we had courtesy visits with several commissioners in almost every ministry of the state that was going to be relevant in any way at all to our activities. The Ministry of Information, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agri, several Ministry of Youth and Sports. We established partnerships with the government, and those are relationships that we have leveraged in that year and the subsequent years. Please once again recognize JCI Senator Kemi Irioye. In 2021, we were led by the distinguished JCI Senator Toba Adeyeye, who is also in diaspora at the moment. He was also someone who took on the vision of the local organization and ensured that the values and the principles that we had already put in place continued to sell us very, very well at the national level. In that year, we had contemplations for members of the local organization to lead at the national level. And in that year, indeed, we had the first representation for JCI Ibadan Elite at the national level. Subsequently, we've had different sort of representations, including a national vice president, an executive vice president, and several members of the national board. Please recognize with me the executive vice president for JCI Nigeria. Welcome as well. We celebrate you, sir. Thank you very much for honoring us. In 2022, we had the distinguished JCI Nigeria Ambassador Goodness Morakinyo, who left the local organization as well. And it was another year that made a lot of recognition about the local organization at the national level and also within the state. In 2022, the local organization was fully established, recognized, and celebrated across the country. And many of the activities that we did, including the Employability Summit and some other initiatives that the distinguished JCI Nigeria Ambassador Goodness Morakinyo pioneered, were things that the local organization now looks back at and have become foundational pillars for us as a local organization. So we recognize the contributions of JCI Nigeria Ambassador Goodness Morakinyo in 2022 as well. He has gone on to become our star boy at the local organization, representing us both at the national vice president and executive vice president levels. We know that if not for some circumstances that are beyond our control, we would have continued to push you to continue to serve till JCI says no, but JCI has already said no by virtue of age. All right, in 2023, we had our distinguished JCI Nigeria Ambassador Larry Alawade lead the local organization, and he also has led us in a way that has positioned us properly, focusing a lot on our membership growth and focusing on things that were blind spots for the local organization up until that time. JCI Nigeria Ambassador Larry Alawade has gone on to also represent the local organization at different fora, including the national level. He's currently serving as National Vice President, Northeast 2. Please celebrate JCI Nigeria Ambassador Larry Alawade as well. And then in 2024, of course, we have the delectable President Cynthia Simeon, who led us last year, also establishing the local organization so much in a way that since we had the 7 executive vice presidents, it was easy for him to be leading us at the national level and for to be appropriately positioning us within the city of Ibadan and beyond. 2024 was a very exciting year for us as a local organization. We took on projects that we had conceived in previous years, but we hadn't yet executed. And at the end of the year, we were proud of what we achieved in 2024. So please celebrate with me as well President Cynthia Simeon, our current middle past president, who is also currently serving on the national board of JCI Nigeria. We celebrate you, and now we are here. In 2018, we pioneered several things, but one of the things that was very important for us was to project into the future of the local organization and think of what could be sustainable. So we had a 5-year strategic plan which we operated from 2019 to 2024. And now in 2025, we have a president who is leading us into the future. Can we please celebrate the distinguished president, Johnson Ilerioluwa Babatunde. This is JCI Ibadan Elite. It's been an experience of networking, fun, and lots of friendships. We have established relationships among ourselves. We have established corporate entities. I can recall that at some point we decided to come together as members that were interested to set up a company, a business, which was outside the local organization. And yesterday we were reviewing notes and seeing the progress of that company that we birthed a few years ago. And please, let me celebrate President Goodness Morakinyo as well, who has been the one leading that initiative. So members of the local organization, thank you, sir. Members of the local organization came together and set up a company called Elite Corporate Services Limited, which was registered and has been operating in different spaces, particularly in the transportation sector over the last few years. JCI Senator Kemi really is forcing me to acknowledge that the business has made profits of about 8 million, thereabouts. Thank you. These are evidences of the beauty of an organization like this. It's indeed been a success story. I have tried not to highlight the challenges, not that we haven't had many, because we have had very many. But at the end of the day, the fun, the friendship, the network, the learnings, the trainings that we have had over the last couple of years have ensured that we are not only here today, but we are definitely going to be here for the next couple of decades, growing the city and contributing our quota to youth and to their development. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so very much, distinguished JCI Senator Sonia Abiodun, for that very good memories that you have taken us through. Before I give the floor to other presidents who will be sharing goodwill right from this hall, I'd like to announce that the Committee of the Month would like to take its leave, and I would like to appoint Vice President Oduayo Akinpole to lead escort team alongside Director of Alumni and Relations, JC Ibadan. Please follow the who has indicated me. Fellow JC, please, the part of this title, let's appreciate the person has indicated me. Thank you very much. All right, moving on now, I'd like to call on the president for the year 2020. That was the president that led to his team extraordinary service. That was an extraordinary year. I'm talking about the JCI Senator Oluwaken Elizabeth Ayeloye. Please, you have the floor. Please, let's appreciate her as Speaker of the Conference.
Thank you, Mr. President, National President, JCI Nigeria, Executive Vice President, National Officers, fellow JCI's guests and friends. As instructed by my President, this is me saying to members of JCI Ibadan Elite that the future is even brighter than the past. I look forward to the amazing things that we are going to be doing together and we are going to be doing in our community. Thank you so much for the privilege to be doing life with each and every one of you in this room. And thank you for our friends and family who continue to support us here in, here out. We are so very grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator. While we were being taken through the milestones and memories, walked into the hall was a very special person whom is our leader in the Southwest. I'm talking about the JCI Nigeria Executive Vice President for the Southwest area, JCI Ambassador Abitogo Akinpole. Please, as he comes forward, let's welcome him. Now, please come to this side of the hall to take your seat. Thank you very much. Also, very specially, I want to recognize our family heads. In JCI Ibadan Elite, we have families and then we have family heads. Very specially, let me recognize the presence of the family head for JCI Senator Tolu Adeniyi. That's JC Victor, JCI Ambassador Michael Shonubi. Thank you very much. Also, I want to recognize the family head for JCI and Ambassador of your family. That's JC Victor Onuka. All right, thank you very much, fellow GSC's guests and friends. We are still in the mode of the anniversary celebration, and in the next few minutes, I want to quickly call on our president for the year 2022 to also give his goodwill message. Please sign Ambassador. Goodness working.
I know they chose that 1 minute because of me. That this one will talk too much. So thank you very much, Mr. President, National President in our midst, our immediate past President for Ibadan Elite, EDP for Southwest, and all the national officers in our midst, board members of JCI Ibadan Elite, past presidents of this esteemed organization, fellow guests and friends. So very quickly, I would just like to chip it in that as members of this organization, if I will speak in 1 minute, I will just say we should encourage to ensure that we sell this organization to people, to our friends. You can't have friends who are not members of the organization. And I will always say a big thank you to JCI Senator Sonny Abiodun, who invited me to say, come and so on the day we talked about marriage, we were not talking about business casually. And so would like to invite me to a meeting. I don't know what it looks like. And that was how I walked in the Carlton Gate in 2019. And I told him that he can't just invite me now, but people can join. He said, yes, let me join. And that was how the journey started for me. As first an invitee, the second as a member. And I think I have done a little bit within the time I joined JCI since 2019 till date. And I want to encourage you also, please ensure that, one, we tell people about the nation, we are doing this to make them better. I joined JCI after I've run my business for about 8 years. So Valencia was 8 years. I wasn't new in business. But I can tell you that what I've learned in JCI from 2019 till date has been very instrumental in taking my business from where it was to where it is now, and perhaps where it is going into. So one last thing again is that as members, we should not just come here to meetings. Let's participate, because the more we do, the more we become active, the more we give ourselves service, the better we are, we will become as a person. So let's please ensure we bring our friends. Let's ensure we also maximize all the potentials. Attend trainings, be visible, take up roles. I've seen people say, I want to be appointed as something, and they say, no, I'm not doing it again. And I wonder how you can wake up one day and think, I'll go and meet the president and say, I'm not taking up this role again. There are many roles I took that I didn't like it, but there was no option for me to say I'm not doing. I would just put your head. When I was appointed MVP to go to the north, everybody greeting me were looking at me and saying that, sorry, so they are taking you to far north. Initially, I don't think there was a problem with that. But the way people were begging me and sorry, the way they were greeting me somehow, it looked like that. They were punishing me. But for me, there is not that place I would have served than that place I was asked to go. And it also done me better. I was able to also know about other cultures, apart from where I also grew up. So please, JCI is a place to be, whether by the elite or any other organizations. Get your friends in and also ensure that you get the best of the organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Let me also give the floor to our president for the year 2023, JCIN Ambassador Honorable.
Mr. President, our very distinguished national president, the immediate past president, JCI Nigeria Executive Vice President Southwest, JCI Ibadan Elite Board members, very distinguished JCI's friends and guests. I don't have much to say. Personally, to me, I see JCI Ibadan Elite and JCI at large as one big family. This is an organization that you can call anybody 12 a.m. in the middle of the night that you want to get some things done, and they will move things for you. I want us to look at that culture, look at that spirit, and make sure that we bring it up, we expand it, we become one very close, small but big family. And I believe that with this, in the next few weeks, months, and years, we will grow and grow bigger. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate. Next to speak now is our immediate past president for JCI.
Mr. President, National President, members of JCI Ibadan Board, National EVP, JCI Senators. So, congratulations, Mr. President. So, in 2024, standing on the shoulders of the leaders before me, I emerged, and I will take a cue from what Senator Somi had said. It says the 5-year plan ended with the year 2024.
So I see JCI Ibadan now in a new dispensation into the future. So I want to encourage the members that they do not forget where we are coming from. But however, let us look forward to the future and embrace the change that is going to happen. How JCI Ibadan is going to continue to do very great things through the leaders to come and even the members. And then again, congratulations to everyone, including the presidents who have supported us to where we are thus far. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our distinguished immediate past president of JCI Ibadan for our beautiful remark. Now we would like to move on to the next item. Before that is being done, I would like that we appreciate very specially with the round of JCI Club the person that I'll be calling first to speak next. I'm talking about the JCI Nigeria National President who is seated beside me. Please, fellow JCI guests and friends, with a very reverberating, resounding, and clear JCI Club, please appreciate the presence of JCI Nigeria National President, JCI Ambassador Oluwatoyin Akola. Thank you so very much for that. It's now time for my president to please lead out.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. JCI Ibadan Elite, happy anniversary. To you first. Good afternoon, everyone. President JCI Ibadan Elite, the Executive Vice President Southwest, the executives of JCI Ibadan Elite and board members, the distinguished League of Past Presidents, our special guest, JCI Local Organization Presidents present, fellow JCs, my board members, very important, I must acknowledge them, the National Vice President, the President sitting, JCI Ibadan Elite members, fellow JCs, friends, guests, and observers. I was going to say that maybe I can attach myself as also founding member of JCI Ibadan. So when I got the invitation, it was a no-brainer to be here today. I think the last time I was in Ibadan Elite was some years back, 2019, yeah. So me coming here today was not a fluke, it was deliberate. So thank you. I was in Ibadan a couple of days ago, and I've said no, I'm not coming to Ibadan again, for now. But I have my great friends as past presidents, as current members, so I must be here. So thank you very much for extending the invitation to the National President. JCI Ibadan Elite at 7. It seems like yesterday. 7, if you have a baby of 7 years old, you're probably in primary school by now. So it's been a long journey. I must commend the past president. It's not an easy thing to not just bet a local organization, but have a local organization that whenever you see them, you see excellence, you see professionalism. And I must continue. Immediately I entered this, I was like, what's going on here? You know, and I was also in spirit. I'm on black, you know, maybe I got the, I got the memo. Whenever you see JCI Ibadan Elite, or you hear JCI Ibadan Elite, the first thing that comes into your mind is excellence, is professionalism, is dedication, is resilience, is hard work. So thank you everybody for your input, thank you for the dedication. Also I must commend JCI Ibadan Elite for not just nurturing leaders and building communities. You've nurtured leaders locally in Ibadan, nationally, internationally. It's too much. You guys are too much. You would think that JCI Ibadan Elite is like 50 years old. You know, when Somi was, President Somi was talking about, a president is always a president. You know, when he was talking about the growth, I was just like, okay, it's just 7 years. And I was also asking, this is a bit of goodness for I was president 2022. I was executive vice president then. Interesting. You guys are just a baby. Really. But the impact has been tremendous. So I must commend the efforts of everybody. I must also commend the efforts of the new babies in the house. This year now, we have a roadmap 2040. And when you're talking about the vision, the plan of action, I'm very sure that the people planning, the strategic committee would also put that into consideration. Because in the next 10 years, 10 years is too long. Before then, I don't want to tell, I'm 20-something years, I'm Gen Z. In the next couple of years, we'll cease to be active members of JCI Nigeria. So the time to start planning is now. And I love the fact that JCI Ibadan Elite is already taking that steps towards a sustainable JCI Ibadan Elite. So give yourself a round of applause again. So congratulations to everybody, the board, the members. JCI Nigeria is 68 years this year. Yes. 68 years. You can do the wow again. But we will continue to celebrate our growth. We'll continue to be leaders. And one thing I also love, because I was listening, I have a speech by the way, but I want to go, outside my speech, because I was listening to everybody that was talking while I was sitting here. I was listening to the growth of JCI Ibadan Elite and how each president has significantly added value each year. And it just sums up to the goal for this year, which is Elevate. So this year in JCI Nigeria, the theme for the year is Elevate. And Elevate is not just a theme. We didn't just sit and say, oh, we just want to come up with a theme like everybody else, or just come up with a theme because we want to come up with a theme. It is a call to action. And I can see Ibadan Elite is already doing everything that we planned in the national organization. So Elevate is ELVS, and it simply stands for Engagement, Leadership, Values, and 8 Principles. And for every president, there's been engagements with different stakeholders, there's been engagements with members. You guys have been uniting all sectors of society, be it business, be it corporate organizations, government. When someone was talking about Kemi, you guys have a lot of partnerships with government entities, which is what we keep talking about, which is what we keep clamoring for. Because I'm tired of walking into a room and, when you say you're a JCI member, the first thing they ask is, what is JCI? We should not be the best kept secrets. We need you to be leaders. We need you to be proud of being a JCI Nigeria and JCI Ibadan Elite member. We need you to lead. And we need to be deliberate about exporting each and every one of you to all sectors of society. It's not enough for us to say we unite all sectors of society. We now need to be deliberate about taking those steps to lead. So in the next few years, I want to come in here and I want to see more CEOs. I want to come in here and see commissioners, ministers, even presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We can. We should. It's high time. Those people making those decisions, for you and I, they are not better than us. Those young people sitting on the table, sitting in those rooms, making those decisions, they are not better than us. They are way, I don't want to say they are way beneath us, but they are not better than us. And we all need to be deliberate about putting ourselves out there. Yes, I'm in government. I'm senior special assistant to the governor of Lagos State. But that's one out of several. How many of us are willing to take up government positions? We should. This is what we are clamoring for this year. And aside being CEOs, business owners, even in corporate organizations, how many leaders do we have of them? Those people that are managers, I'm sorry, we have to be deliberate about our growth. And that is why we keep saying, oh, be a part of JCI, be deliberate about your personal growth, be deliberate about your professional growth, be deliberate about your careers. Please, Mr. President, I'm very certain that programs, I like the fact that we are talking about financial literacy. I'm also one of those people, when you said something about professional photographer, I was like, madam, okay. Some of us, I'm sure you have some things that you are finicky about and you spend your money on. You might not like photography, but there's some things. Yes, I'm sure there are some things. But I like the fact that we are talking about financial literacy, because I was also part of a panel recently, and one of the things that we don't do in this part of the world, we don't talk a lot about financial literacy. So I like the direction. I think I also saw something about tax training, so you can see I'm following you guys. I don't, that is one thing that, we are talking about in the national organization. We have to also deliberate about technical competencies, not just generic, trainings or behavioral competencies. Also technical competencies that can help you grow as an individual. So I'll stop there. I've praised about it. Now I've praised national organization. I also need to talk about JCI Nigeria. For us in the national organization, one of our bold ambitions this year is to complete our national permanent secretariat. I don't know if anybody knows where our permanent secretariat is ongoing. I want to appreciate JCI Ibadan Elite. I know for sure that senators, leaders of the national organization has donated tremendously to the growth. This is where we are currently in the national phase. That is our secretariat. It's not enough for us to be 68 years without a roof on our head. I'm sure even the Gen Zs in this room are already thinking of how they want to build their house next year or before the end of the year, or even have a property. So it's not enough for us to say we're JCI Nigeria members. This is our baby. This is our project. It's not Oluwatoyin Atunda's project. It is JCI Nigeria members project. And if you are a JCI Nigeria Ibadan Elite, you are a JCI Nigeria member. And for us, the local organizations are the bedrock of the national organization. Without you, we cannot move forward. Without your membership, without you coming into this meeting, JCI Ibadan Elite cannot exist. Without JCI Ibadan Elite, JCI Nigeria cannot exist. I cannot be national president to nobody. And we need a roof over our head. We've started. We've actually moved past this, actually. We are around 7-point-something million between January and now. I was in Ikeja. I know Ikeja is 40-something-year-old, but I know Ibadan Elite carries more weight. It's not about the years. It's about the weight. Kemi, I know. Don't worry, let me not start mentioning names on the high table. So I was in Ikeja just last weekend. Ikeja moved that forward a bit. So JCI Ikeja, I'm already in JCI Ibadan. I was about saying Ibadan Elite donated. I can't go back home. I was in Ibadan just a few weeks ago and I'm here again. I can't go back home and go empty-handed. Mr. President will permit me. Because I'm an errand girl, here. In as much as Ibadan Elite has invited me, I'm also running errands for my board of directors and also members of JCI Nigeria. We are seeking your support. This is 2025. And you can't say Oluwatoyin Atunda is a founding member of JCI Ibadan Elite. I'm attaching myself. Yeah. I'm very correct, Mr. President, because when the conceptualizing of this local auction was going on, indirectly or directly, I was a part of it. So I can't go back and say I came to JCI Ibadan Elite and I left, drove back all the way to Lagos empty-handed. So this is an appeal to JCI Ibadan Elite members, JCI Ibadan members or new members, intending members here in the room. No matter how small, if you get 1,000 JCI Nigeria members to donate 50,000 naira each, we will reach our next goal and our next target. I'm sure you'll say 50,000 chicken change. I'll just end it now. So you can as well just help us transfer it to the account. It's right there. And I would love to get the alert before I leave. JCI Ikeja donated 2 million before I left their meeting last weekend. So bringing national presidents to your meeting is not this. I could have gone elsewhere. I could have gone to ASO today. I could have gone, but I chose to say that Ibadan Elite, I'm a founding member. We are celebrating our anniversary today. So I must be here. And I must go with reasonable amounts. So, Mr. President, with your permission, I will just allow just the leagues of presidents, past presidents, to announce their commitment on behalf of Mr. President to the JCI Nigeria Permanent Secretariat. I'm sorry, I'm a marketer. I don't know if you are looking for someone to employ. Wema Bank. I would like to speak for him. I know I have 30 minutes because I saw your agenda, so you cannot say I should sit down. I know I have 30 minutes, but I was trying to keep it short. That's why I said let me go to the leagues of past presidents. They will do it on behalf of Mr. President. Then the members, I know that we have big wings in the house. Please support your president and support JCI Ibadan Elite. Support us. Our bold ambition this year is for us to move into. Don't you like that beautiful building? You know, we're just at the final stage and we need your support. We cannot do it without you. So please, let's continue to elevate our members. Let's continue to elevate JCI Ibadan Elite. Congratulations once again. But, Mr. President, I'm not done before the clap. I would like to pass the mic to the past president to please give us their donations for the year, including the national vice president. Here is the member of JCI. He's a member of JCI Nigeria, but for today it would be JCI. I'm permitting you to be JCI Ibadan Elite member. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, National President, fellow board members, national executives, members of JCI Ibadan, can we please give a rousing applause to our national president once again? The rousing applause was for all that she has shared with us. Can we please give another one for all the efforts so far towards the national secretariat? Thank you. National President, one of the things that you are certain of is the commitment of JCI Ibadan leads to the growth of the national organization, particularly during your administration. It has not been in doubt so far, and it will never be in doubt. We are committed to the progress of the national organization, and we are committed to you and to the leadership that you give to us. What we must say is that we have been involved in this journey over the years. We have made contributions as local organization, as individual members of the national organization. We've participated in this at different times, you know, and your administration, because of the commitments that we have to you, will not be an exception. So you can rest assured that we are already deliberating figures in our heads and trying to ensure that we do something that makes you proud of us the same way we are proud of you. We would like to request that you do not compel us to mention a figure publicly, because like you already know, we are one on this journey and we will ensure that we elevate together. Let me say finally, because we know that it is what you would like to hear, let me say finally that we commit to communicating our commitment to you before the next 24 hours.
Thank you very much. Because I trust you guys, you are my Jews. So I would leave it at that, and I want to appreciate the past presidents. So that's for the past presidents, right? Not for the members or JCI Ibadan. Wait, I wait for your time. Have you been national president before? Calm down. It's for JCI Ibadan. Okay. Because she's my very good friend, and I trust her wholeheartedly that she's not going to give me, I don't want to use the word. What's the word? EPP. EPP. So I will hold you responsible, because this is your area. I will hold the EPP responsible, and I will also hold Kemi Iroye responsible. Past president Kemi Iroye responsible. So thank you very much, JCI Ibadan, for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for extending the invitation. Thank you for your commitment to the growth of the national organization. Thank you for always being excellent. Thank you for your professionalism. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you for your dedication and your commitment to JCI Nigeria. We wish you many more years. May God continue to uphold you. May you continue to grow from here in unity, very important. Because we know that quite a lot of local organization has gone into extinction, but you guys are still strong, waxing strong and stronger. So may you continue to grow from strength to strength. Happy anniversary, JCI Ibadan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished national president, for that you have just done. We really appreciate you. We want to move on to the next item in the agenda now, and that is item 4.3.3. And it is a two-item in one. So I would like to call on our president for the year 2020 to lead the toasts. I'm talking about the JCI Senator Oluwakemi. Before she come up here, I'd like to call on the Director of Welfare to please make cups available to members so that we can all have it. We have liquid content, non-alcoholic to give everyone. We have water, we have some drinks, we have things. So, dear Senator, please step forward to please lead toast. After which we will take the content. Thank you.
Mr. President, National President, JCI Nigeria, National Executive Vice President, National Officers and Admins, fellow JCIs and friends. Okay, so we're going to wait a moment for the drinks to go round. I think in essence, we're celebrating the challenges, the triumphs, the victories, the good and the bad days that we have experienced as members of JCI Ibadan. You know, one of the most challenging things running a non-governmental organization is fundraising, is actualizing some of the things that we set out to do at the beginning of every year. Because as the economic situation of the country faces challenges, it trickles down to individuals and then it goes down even to organizations like us. But over the years, regardless of what the economy has been, we continue to persevere as a local organization. We continue to create impacts, we continue to execute projects and programs. I remember that in honor of International Women's Day last year, we had a webinar which was very, very impactful. So I think it's worth celebrating that we are turning 7 today. So either you want to take a wine, take a juice, take water. Although you know me, I don't know how to lie, Sha. So I'm a bit somehow, Mr. President, that all these things are hot. The room is hot, you want to use hot water to toast again. Well, yeah, don't be doing like that. Thank you. Okay, so do we have the items? Past presidents don't have cups. We're waiting. And while we're doing that, could we have a knife on the cake as well, so that we can speed things up very quickly? So when you hear sounds like that, it's all celebrated. Thank you very much. Now there's no TG. When I saw this thing, I think that the night was Louise, I'm about to say that. Okay, so could we please serve the high table? Directors, please let's help so this moves around very quickly. Thank you very much. It's our celebration. JCI Ibadan Elite is turning 7 in your year as a serving local organization director. So please let's see how we can move this on very quickly. I still see a lot of cups empty. Little, small. Don't give them plenty. It's not all I'm there. LJ, it's a thought of the mind. Let it multiply in our belly. See wickedness. My MP said you gave Pastor Stephen like that. 8 or all right, so our friends and guests, it is important for us to dedicate time to do this. Looking back on our journey, you'll see our journey on the slides from year to year, project to project. I remember when we went for the World Cleanup Day at Gate, people were looking at us very strangely, because if you notice, we are fine and touch in Badeli. So they were wondering why people like this were picking up litters. And very significantly, this Senator Somi Abiodun, I hope you are proud, driving past Basharum for 2 years. Basharum Market was a cleaning project. I see my very good friend and sister, JC Fumi, showed for acknowledging that for 2 years, Basharum Market was a World Cleanup Day project for us. We keep going back to the market to orientate, and now when I drive past and I see that the government has eventually given them a refuse dump, I think it just speaks to the fact that we were indeed in tune with some of the projects and programs that we've done over the years. So for friends, family who have come to felicitate with us today, thank you so very much. So if you have your wine or water in your glass, please let's stand as we raise our glass to celebrate 7 years of impact, 7 years of change, 7 years of progress. I know some people that came to Ibadan as single, and now they are, double plus half left. To change, to increase, and to continued success. Please make sure you drink your glass with somebody and say cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. And on that note, I'd like to invite the #1 citizen of JCI Ibadan Elite, MP Countdown. Of JCI Ibadan Elite in person of President Johnson, President Ileri Oluwa Babatunde Johnson. Please step forward to the cake. We're going into the cutting of the cake. Please sit down. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh God. What do I want to give? The box I brought is so small. And I've distributed dollars. Please let's have the immediate past president and past president of JCI Ibadan Elite. Board members, please come forward. Okay, maybe we should do it in batches so that it's not too clumsy. We'll have the president take first, and then we'll take the board. Welfare or meeting manager, could we please move the cake forward? Okay, Mr. President, Past President, can we have the distinguished, we are paying for the honor now, but can we have the distinguished honor to have the #1 citizen for JCI Nigeria and the #1 could we also have the Executive National Vice President in charge of Southwest? Please join us. Board members.
Can you give me your faces away now? Don't tell me you. Thank you. All right, let's go.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not sure the time allocated for this, but to move it on very quickly. All right, can we have our special guest, our trainer for the day, Mrs. Oweye, please join us for the cutting of the cake. Please let's settle in. After the meeting, we'll be having photo session downstairs at the photo area, so we'll have chairman of projects and members of JCI Ibadan. That space would take us better. All right. So right now we want to cut the cake, Mr. President. Okay, we have our hands on the cake, and we'll cut on high. So we're going to be spelling JCI. Okay, so that they are in alignment. We're going to be using READ. That's an acronym of our president's theme for this year. And on P will cut. So stay with me, please. R, P, K, and P. Thank you very much. And congratulations to us all for 7 years of impact. Thank you very much. Our trainer, please, would you like to have a picture? Thank you. Meeting manager, could you please help us?
thank you very much, distinguished JCI Senator, for leading the toast and the cutting of cake for the 7th anniversary of JCI Ibadan. Thank you so very much. Before we move on to the next item, there are two things that needs to be done. Number one is to call on our own distinguished Senator Sonia Pierre to please appreciate the President of the hello. Please make available the items that we have. Senator, please, can you please assist us to appreciate the President for honoring our invite and being here to this very moment. Please, fellow guests and friends, the other please appreciate the President.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, national officers, local organization officers. I'm called as the oldest president here, but I would like the past president, JCI Senator Kemiri, to join us to do this. And I would like to yield the floor to her to appreciate the national president properly.
Kind, please celebrate my predecessor on my behalf. Thank you so very much for giving me the privilege to do this. JCI Nigeria Ambassador Oluwatoyin Atonda. What a day to celebrate you. What a time for you to visit Ibadan. Our journey has been such a long one, from our days in the collegiate till now. And one thing that stood out over the years about President Toyin is her thirst for excellence. She commended Ibadan Elite, and I'm like, she has always lived that life. For every project, for every conference, she will break her back to get things done. And I believe that JCI Nigeria at this time could not have had a better president than you. And if anybody could deliver the national secretariat, I believe that you can. Thank you so much. It's Ramadan, she's fasting, and she still chose to journey down to be with us. We don't take it for granted. We celebrate you, my dear friend and sister. Thank you so much. On behalf of Mr. President, the board and members of JCI Ibadan, we say thank you. And as you see, you're not going home empty-handed. May your post not be wasted though.
Thank you so very much for that. Before we move on to the next item in the agenda, which is item 4.4, the Director of Growth and Retention likes to utilize the presence of our leaders who are in our midst this afternoon to please distribute elite ID cards to our members who have reached the annual dues for the current year. This Elite has produced an ID card for every member so that we have privileges that conveys to them at different locations that we are working with as partners. So this afternoon, I'd like to call on Director to please step forward to present the ID cards. I think we're utilizing our national EDP and also one of our presidents and as well the national president. Please have this for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The distinguished national president and our immediate past president, the EVP Southwest and other national officers in our midst, board of JCI Ibadan Elite, JCI senators in our midst, fellow JCI guests and friends. Like Mr. President said, we have membership ID at JCI Ibadan Elite, and it's produced for members who are fully financial. So quickly, I would like okay, so the for members who have this membership ID, there are a lot of initiatives that we have for the year, like the Access to Fuel initiative. So it's only card-carrying members that will benefit from this. We also have the accident insurance and the health insurance scheme.
that members who have this membership ID card will benefit from. And ultimately, only card-carrying members will go for NAM.